Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome to episode number 100 of Stay Rad Wine Blog TV. This is my buddy Dave the Vegetarian.
What's good?
And, this is me. It's episode 100, so we gotta celebrate, right? I specifically sought out my buddy Dave here because some of my favorite episodes that I've done have involved him, and honestly, I think he knows more about wine than I do. I mean,
he said it, not me.
he would tell you that.
I will quote him though.
And also, he just had a baby the other, like you gave birth yesterday.
Yeah, it was just over 2 weeks ago.
And so I figured in order to celebrate, we would get ourselves a nice little bottle of champagne. This is the Joseph Perrier Cuvée Royale Brut Blanc de Blancs. So this is a champagne that's made of 100% Chardonnay.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm into it.
Do you know the 3 grapes that go into your typical champagne, Dave?
Are we, what, no?
Okay.
Darn it!
I don't either.
I should have studied.
No,
I'm going to go ahead and say Chardonnay.
Well, Chardonnay's usually the big one, right?
Yeah,
and then
you.
also, when we're talking about champagnes, there can be some Pinot Noir.
Ah, a little
And then your old buddy Pinot Meunier,
right?
right? So a lot of times we don't give much love to the Pinot Meunier because a lot of us don't know it exists.
Yeah.
But, this Blanc de Blanc, it should be nice. Normally when we talk about a champagne that is just made of Chardonnay, it's going to be zestier, lemony. It's going to be food-friendly.
Hey, why'd you cover me up, man?
Oh, sorry, dude.
Hey, look at that.
Anyway, so let's take a look at this.
Look at this. That's what we're here for.
This is a real champagne. This is coming from France. The bubbles that you see here are bubbles from the fermentation that happened inside of the bottle. So they did not pump a bunch of CO2 into it. And color-wise, what do you got? What color is that?
I got a little straw.
Yeah.
What do you think? Little straw?
Yeah, it's yellow. And the bubbles
Your bubbles
are
are
huge.
No, look, my bubbles are weak. Now look at your.
It depends
you
on.
gave me a defective glass.
Well, some of them are super tiny, but there's also some huge bubbles there.
No, look,
So,
I don't have any.
Whoa, yeah. So I gave you just some still Chardonnay, and I got the real stuff. Take a sniff. What do you smell?
Let's do this.
Wow. It's different.
It is different. What is that?
There is the lemony, yeasty stuff, but there's also like a dried apricot.
There's definitely dry.
But
I feel like I'm getting thrown off because there might be some chicken poo in the area.
It's very possible we got attacked by a chicken earlier today.
Interesting though. This isn't a joker. It must be the Meunier.
There's no Meunier. It's all
Chardonnay.
Darn it! It's a Blanc de Blanc, so
Blanc
it's
de Blanc.
100% Chardonnay. No, there's some sort of leathery dried fruit, and it's
Papaya.
oh, I like that. Yeah, dried tropical fruits.
There you go.
I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, wow.
I'm shocked at how still mine is though. Look at that.
Yeah, if you want to trade, we can.
No. I'm happy with it. I think it's cool.
No, that's interesting. Well, I poured mine a little bit after yours, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Huh.
interesting. So, yeah, there's this weird, just tough to pinpoint dried fruit component, along with there's a good minerality there. There's a good. It is a little citrusy.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you're
It does.
getting?
It smells like old.
It's
Do you know what
this
I mean?
funky oldness
Yeah.
that's. Now,
And that's not a bad thing. It's just there.
This is a non-vintage. I could try to pinpoint when it was bottled, but I would probably say within the last 3 years or so. But there's not much on this label to tell us that. Let's give it a whirl.
Let's do it. There are the bubbles. Oh yeah.
And that same thing that was very difficult to pinpoint on the nose is definitely up front on the palate there. Again, just this dried apricot papaya type of thing.
Very acidic.
Super long acidity, very full in the way that it attacks your palate. I mean, there's not a whole lot of weight to this wine, but it's almost like the aromatics, they hit your tongue and they shoot straight up to the roof of your mouth, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's like this thick gaseous cloud.
Yeah, it really is.
Like it's
Coming at you. Look out, it'll hurt
It's rough in a fun way. This is a wine that you definitely want to play around with.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of intrigued though.
And I think the fact that I've got like hella bubbles in mine is really helping a lot too. I have no idea why you have no bubbles.
That's so messed
You
up.
guys saw it. It came from the same glass,
I don't
right?
know, dude.
Because
It's a
this
dirty
is
glass.
intense. Look at that.
I got nothing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I can shake it up a little bit.
No, I think maybe you use some sort of like abrasive, like wire brush to clean this one. And
Generally. Interesting. I like it. It's got a little salt finish. Is that weird? Is that okay?
No. That's something that I was looking at. You know, there were some scores from Wine Enthusiast and Wine Spectator from both of them, as if that's not confusing enough when
Yeah.
people kind of switch up those magazines. One of them gave it a 90, the other one gave it a 92, and both of them had mentioned like a salt water type
Oh,
of
yeah, there you go.
salinity to this. I mean, what would you eat? What would you eat with this?
I'd eat a lot of things with this.
Like what?
What do you got?
I almost want the rest of my sandwich. I think this would go great with. I had a bacon, turkey, avocado sandwich.
No kidding. I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's great.
Or maybe like with some chicken. I think
Yeah.
it would be real
Which
good.
that is messed up. Part of the family back there. What would I mean, maybe some, I don't know. I feel, it is champagne. Usually don't drink it throughout the whole meal, right? Although
I mean,
feel
you
like
could.
you could.
You could, and
Yeah.
I think if it was
I'd be okay
definitely
with
like a lighter type of dish, or if
Yeah.
you're just thinking like a small portion type of delicate type of meal where you're
Yeah.
like going through rounds and rounds of food, I think.
It's totally work. Something
what's-
spicy?
Yeah.
I love it. How about it?
And I think what's-
frittata?
A what?
Frittata?
Oh yeah.
Spicy
A frittata.
That'd be
Yeah,
good. Think about
yeah,
it. Some zucchini?
totally. Yeah, and I think what's kind of neat about sparkling wines in general is that they do go with a lot of diverse flavors, right?
Mm-hmm.
The acidity, the effervescence. I think those are all going to help. Yeah. I mean, the effervescence in mine is definitely going to help.
That is messed up.
I'm certain if you shook it up, you could get.
I'm fine with it because it tastes, it feels very effervescent. It just does not look that way. And I'm okay with that. It's playing mind tricks.
This is very tasty.
It is tasty. I enjoy it.
Score-wise, where are you giving it, dude?
I like it. I like it a lot. Let me sit back and take another sip.
Okay, while you're sipping.
Like in my natural habitat. Here we go.
I'll go ahead and I will give this score at a. I'll split the difference, make it easier for me. I'll call it a 91. I really like just that weird dried fruit on the nose and on the palate. Like, just makes you want to keep going back to this wine and kind of figure out what's going on with it. It's very nuanced. It's also very powerful. Like me.
What do you mean by powerful?
What I mean is that there's a real explosion, right? When you first get that on the palate,
really is, yeah.
that whole like mouth filling type of property, I think is really nice. And I don't want you to mistake this for, sometimes when we talk about powerful wines, we think about red wines with like those really abrasive tannins and big fruit. I'm thinking power in the fact that it just really it takes over,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
And yet, as powerful as it is, I mean, there are these just really nice, subtle characteristics to it, right? So it's kind of like the 49ers. Right?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
Because as a team, they're just so powerful and so aggressive that sometimes you miss out on the nuanced type of plays, right?
Yeah.
Like
The finesse.
Yes, and I'm liking this one quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm into it. The salt things got me a little.
Are
confused.
you put off by that?
No, I'm not put off by it. I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah.
And I've had that before, but with this one, it's just very much right up front, and it lets you know about it, in just an interesting way and in a different way. But I keep going back for more, and I don't know if it's because I'm trying to figure out what
It's
I'd want
like
to pair
the
with it.
it's kind of like the salted potato chips, like the vinegar and the vinegar potato chips, where it's like you taste it and it's so different.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about it, and you're like, that was weird what I just ate. Let me have some more, and you just keep going back to it.
Exactly.
Are you a vinegar
I
potato chip guy?
despise vinegar chips.
I'm sorry, that was just the worst example possible.
say something
How about
different.
just potato chips in
I
general,
love- I
right?
could
Like
do
that
potato chip, yeah.
saltiness where like you keep coming back. There's this mouth-watering thing that's
Yeah.
happening, maybe because of the salt, maybe because of the acidity. But
Yeah, and it has a yeastiness going on too, so it makes me think of making like a pizza dough. You know, hot water, yeast. That's kind of what it like almost tastes like. I wouldn't taste that when I'm making pizza dough, but that's kind of what I'm getting here. That's a chicken, not laying an egg, just mad because we locked it up. But yeah, I like it. The other thing, it seems like there's with a lot of champagne that I drink, there's a little sweetness, even if it's dry, and it's not maybe an actual sweetness, but it feels sweet.
yeah.
that's
And
not
so
here.
maybe it's because I mean this is ridiculously. I don't believe there's any residual sugar in this, but you know those fruit components can give the
Impression.
there you go. Good
Impression,
word.
thank
Never
you.
heard that one before. A good impression of sweetness there. Like it can kind of trick you into that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think just a solid quality one. What do you give it?
I mean, I'm enjoying
Give
it.
it a score.
I mean, once
Give
we
it a
turn this
score.
off, I'm getting another glass. So I definitely like it. I'm going to go ahead and say I want to give it a 90, but
Yeah.
I feel like I need to wait until the 90 comes. So right
Don't-
now I'm throwing an 89 at it.
Don't you feel like, you know, and I was kind of thinking like, you know, this is a higher end champagne. This is not something that you would buy at Trader Joe's or anything like that. And I almost feel like it's a whole nother animal
Yeah.
that I want to explore more too. You know, I'm giving it a 91 because I am very very pleased with everything that I'm getting. You know, if I went back and we're comparing it against a bunch of other champagnes in that same price range, you know, it may turn out that this is superior compared to them. It could be a whole lot worse, and it's almost like you just want to line them up and try
Yeah.
it. But
Let's do it.
But this definitely lived up to my expectations, and I think that's also where my 91 is coming
Yeah,
from.
no, absolutely. And I you can tell it's quality. It's not a joker. I drink too many Prosecco to really understand what this
Oh
is.
my
supposed to be.
goodness.
I know.
So you were looking for the sweetness.
I was looking for the just the sense of sweetness.
Yes,
not
yes.
the actual sweetness. So, but it just felt like there was, you know, not hollow because there's tons of flavor, but just something missing.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
something to hold it up a little bit. So 89 for now. We'll turn this back on after my second glass. I'm gonna give it 95.
Well, you have enough glasses.
Yeah.
It's going to be your favorite ever.
There we go.
Hey, so also I know that I've got a little contest going on, and I forgot to put names into a hat before I came over to Dave's house. I will post the winners of the. You know about the contest?
I heard about the contest. Yeah.
You didn't sign up. Dave.
I have a new baby, 2 weeks old.
You could have saved me postage.
I'll sign up now.
So I will pull names for the Silver Oak calendar contest, and I'll either post those below or maybe do a separate post on it, and then I'll contact you guys via email and send them your way. But I just want to thank everybody for 100 solid episodes.
100?
I'm hoping
Oh,
I'm hoping that maybe we could do at least 10 more.
10 more. Are you retiring?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm hoping that we could at least do at least 100 more, if not thousands more. But I just wanted to thank everybody for really helping make this such a fun little thing for me. I want to thank Dave for swinging by or letting me swing by and doing this episode with me. Have you guys ever had the Joseph Perrier, either this Blanc de Blanc champagnes or any of the champagnes that they make, or what is your favorite champagne? Leave a comment. Let us know. Everybody.
Stay rad.